Hi, this is Mary from the Daily Sew. Hemming trousers was my first side hustle. As soon as somebody found out I could sew, they always asked, "Hey, can you hem my pants?" It is a pretty common task, and it is a task that you can, no matter your sewing experience right now, can get professional results. You just need to follow a few things that this video is of course going to go over. You also will need somebody else to do the initial pinning up of the pant leg if they are your own trousers. So if you have a pair of pants that are too long, or somebody else's, let's go. For this project, you're going to need the trousers, a ruler or tape measure, tailor's chalk or chalk pencil, pins and safety pins, thread to match your trousers, or it could be one shade darker, white or pale yellow thread for basting, hand needle, and a sewing machine is nice, but you could do this entirely by hand. Now, this is a project which needs two people at first, the person who needs the pants shortened and a person to do the initial pinning up of the pant legs. Our objectives for this project: when you're done, your pants hem should hang evenly. It shouldn't have any lumpiness in the hem allowance, and the hem should be inconspicuous. So ideally, have the person put on the pants with the belt and shoes they plan to wear with them, especially if they're going to wear a belt. And then put them in front of a mirror. Again, if you can put them on a flat stool, a short stool, so that the hem is at your eye level and your eye level is not on the floor. It's much easier to see what you're doing. Fold up the excess length to the inside of the pants leg and pin with straight pins. Check in with the wearer that both their legs are the same length, and if not, pin up both legs. Once everybody is happy with the hem, you're going to place safety pins in it and take out the straight pins. The safety pins are going to keep that hem in place between the fitting and the sewing, because straight pins can fall out sometimes, especially when the person is taking off the pants to give you to sew. So on your work surface, you want to flip the pant leg so that you can see the total amount that you've pinned to the inside. And you're going to use the current hem, the fold, or the bottom of the pants leg if your pants are not hemmed, as your baseline. And from that baseline, you're going to subtract the excess length. So before removing the pins, measure how much you have pinned up. This amount is likely to be a little uneven around the leg. So therefore, measure in a few spots, at least, maybe 4 or 5 spots, and go with the most common or frequent amount that you've pinned up. And then write that amount down. So these pants need to be shortened or raised 5.5 inches. That goes up. The hem allowance is then added back to the length. The hem for lady slacks is about 1¼ inch to 1½ inch, or 3 to 4 centimeters. For men's trousers, the hem allowance is 2 inches or 5 centimeters. This wide hem allowance gives the pant leg some weight, which helps the pants drape very nicely when worn. So for these pants, I'm going to take off 5.5 inches, but I have to add back 2 inches for the hem. That leaves 3.5 inches to be measured up from the original hem, or the baseline here, and that's going to be my new cut line. So now that it's written down, you can take out the safety pins. You're good to go. If you only pinned up one leg, check that both legs of the pants are sewn and cut to the same length. If one leg is shorter or longer, and it can happen, make a note and adjust the amount you need to fold up accordingly. You might want to mark this leg with a safety pin down at the hem there to avoid any confusion. So note here that many trousers have a slight slope to the back hem, and we are going to keep that, but I just want to point it out for now. So first we need to check that the original hem is not going to be in the way of our new cut line. So measure up the amount you need to shorten, then back down 2 inches or whatever your hem allowance is. And if where that ends up is above the hem that's in the pants now, you don't have to unpick that hem. If, say, you're only taking off 3 inches and then you add back 2 inches hem allowance, then your new cutting line comes right where that hem currently is, so you have to undo that old hem first. Objective 1, pants hang evenly when done. The tip for this, marking the pants in 3 spots and marking the front and back separately. To mark the pants, we're going to lay the pants flat, front side up on the work surface. You got your middle crease, inseam, and side seam. We're going to measure up from the original hem, or our baseline, the amount that we're shortening, and then we're going to come back down the hem allowance, which is the new cutting line. You're going to mark with chalk at 3 points on the leg these measurements, about 1 inch in from each side seam, so the side seam and the inseam, and at the center of the leg. Remember that slope built into the back of the original hem? By measuring and marking the front and back of the leg separately, you're going to keep the slope of the pants. And of course, measure and mark the second leg. So you can go ahead and add some more lines in there to connect your cutting line marks because we're going to be cutting that line. And remember, we're cutting the bottom line. That's our cutting line. The top line is our fold line. So orient the leg so you're comfortable with cutting it, and you're going to make a small snip somewhere on the line to cut the leg off in the round. You're not going to come up and cut over. You're just going to cut it in the round. By placing your other hand inside the pant leg, you're ensuring that you're only going to cut the one layer at a time. After cutting, you're going to finish that raw edge there with some overcast stitches on your sewing machine, or you could serge stitch if you have a serger, and if you have neither, you can fold over a narrow amount of fabric and give it a good pressing. If you did do the stitches, also give the stitches a good pressing, but don't press the chalk marks. They'll become permanent. Go ahead and fold the hem allowance to the inside of your pants. This is following your top marked line. You can double check with the ruler, especially if your chalk lines have faded at all. Objective 2, have no lumpiness in the hem allowance. The tip for this, look and adjust as you go. So you're going to pin up the hem as you fold, but you're going to check that you're not twisting the hem at all, which you may have the tendency to do like I did. You just hold up the pant leg a little bit and shake it so everything can fall back in place. Your side seams may not line up with each other. The side seam of the hem allowance may not line up with the side seam in the pant leg, and that's okay as long as on the outside everything's nice and flat. So I did end up with this diagonal drag line here, and in that case I need to adjust my hem, scooch it over to the right or the left in order to get rid of it. Remember, if it's twisted now, it's going to be twisted forever. So take a good look and repin it if necessary. Repinning is a lot easier than resewing. So take your white or pale yellow thread and thread a needle, but don't knot it because you're just going to baste with it. And remember, basting is temporary. You need to be able to pull it out easily. So with the pants facing you, the right side out facing you, you're going to baste basting stitches around the leg near the fold on the bottom there. And then you're going to do a second row of basting stitches close to the end of the hem allowance, like 2 inches up, but not too close because you don't want these basting stitches to be in the way when you're actually hemming the pants in a little bit. Go ahead and remove the pins as you baste. Basting may seem like an extra step, but it's going to keep the pant leg from shifting, and shifting leads to twisting, and we don't want twisting. Speaking of things we don't want, do you notice the puckering here? The puckering is a sign of tightness, and the reason is that this pant leg is tapered. This means the circumference of the leg where I cut it is less than the leg circumference where I'm sewing it down, so it leaves a sort of puckering or lumpiness. What you want to do is clip some of the stitches in one or both of the side seams of the hem allowance, just about a ½ inch into the hem allowance. Then let that hem allowance spread and relax. Of course, it's better to do this before you overcast the edge, but if you didn't notice the taper, like me, it's not too late. I did run a serger stitch over that gap. Then just stretch out the leg a little so that the basting stitches can move and loosen. Remember, there's no knot in the thread, so the basting stitches should move. And that solves the problem. Objective 3, be inconspicuous. Tips for this: matching thread, pick only one thread up, and even tension. So we're going to use thread that matches or is one shade darker than your pants, and you're going to thread a hand needle and knot the end. It's just a single thread here, not a double thread. So starting anywhere in the hem allowance, put the needle from the back to the front so that the knot is between the hem allowance and the pant leg. Then you're going to come to the back and pick up one thread on the pant leg. You can check on the outside. If you see the needle, you're going to see the thread. So make sure you're just picking up one thread. Then the needle will go through the hem again, back to front, about 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter away from the first stitch that you just did. Keep going all the way around the hem. This is called a slip stitch. Don't pull your sewing thread too tight. It should be just right, not loose, not too tight. But if you find yourself pulling tight every so many inches or every so many stitches, go ahead and stretch out that part you just sewed to make it looser. Pulling too tightly on the string is going to cause lumps in your hem, and you don't want lumps. When you meet back up with your stitches, go ahead and knot your thread. I like to make this simple knot where I pick up a stitch, and before I bring the thread all the way through, a little loop forms. I stick that needle through the loop. And then as I'm pulling that needle through the loop, another loop forms, a second loop, and I stick the needle through that. Then I can pull on the needle completely. The knot goes down to the base of the thread. Then whatever knot you use, you want to bury your knot. Go ahead and put the needle into the hem, but not catching any of the pant here. Come out about 1/2 inch away from that. Give a little tug and clip your thread. All right, after stitching, go ahead and remove the basting stitches. Any chalk marks left should be removed with a slightly damp cloth. You absolutely, positively want to make sure you do not press over any chalk marks or any other kind of marks. It can make them permanent. Press the hem in place. And I'm not in the video here, but I do recommend you use a press cloth. A press cloth is a piece of cloth in between the iron and what you are pressing. Because a lot of suit pants, especially darker colors, the iron can leave a sheen or a shiny area on it. So using a press cloth in between the iron and the pants, you're going to avoid that chance of that happening. For a press cloth, you can use a white t-shirt or a simple white cotton kitchen towel, something that's kind of thin. It's going to protect your pants from getting that sheen. Okay, you're done. That was a pretty easy task. In fact, I think the hardest part or the longest part is pinning it up at the very beginning. Once that's done, it's all downhill from there. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, please go ahead and give it a like. If you have any questions about hemming pants, please put them in the comments below and I'll be sure to reply. Thank you so much for watching and thank you for subscribing. Goodbye.